Hey everyone, it's Anthony LoFrisco with AdEdge Digital Marketing coming at you right around spooky Halloween time. You might be asking, what's so spooky about Halloween? I'm an old guy now. It's paid search, of course, right? If that doesn't get you scared in the digital marketing world, I don't know what does. But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be scary. I want to give you some tactics that I think are going to help you to improve your paid search campaigns. Um, let's think about keywords today. Um, First of all, we do recommend if you're new to digital marketing and you want to do some search engine marketing, aka you want to show up in Google somewhere when your prospective clients are searching for either you or your products or your services. What we recommend first, actually the very first thing we recommend is Google Maps. That's the customer facing product. The product for the businesses is Google My Business. Especially important if you're a local business. If you're not local, it's not quite as important. If you're local, it's actually very easy to do. Just go to Google My Business, add a listing, boom, you're done. We'll talk about optimizing your Google My Business listings at some point in the future. That's the very first thing you should do. Second, I know everyone thinks I'm going to say SEO, but that's not true. Actually, we like to do search engine, we like to do paid search first. And there's a very good reason for it. Number one, with paid search, we can get you on page one right away on mobile and desktops and all kinds of devices. Number two, and more important reason is when we are running paid search campaigns in the real world environment, in our local environment, we can actually see which keywords are generating the most, being searched the most, which are generating the most clicks, and most importantly, which are performing best. So we start with paid search. All right, so how do you make your paid search less scary? How do you make it better? Let's talk about keywords. The first thing you want to do before you get started is you want to do a little bit of research. Everything that we do in digital should start with some research. Preferably you have some data, but if not, you can do your own original research. Look at your competitors, see what keywords they're running. Look at, you can actually dig into phone calls. We've done this with some of our clients. We've listened to recorded calls, we've talked to a sales team, we've read customer emails, all digging for keywords. And make sure that when you create your keyword list that you use terms that your customers use, especially if you're in a competitive, not competitive, if you're in a technical environment, okay? So if you sell something that's kind of complex, you tend to use industry terms, industry speak. You use abbreviations for stuff that people don't understand. So use keywords in your customer's language. Once you build your keyword list, one thing that you can do to improve your performance is look at long tail keywords. And a long tail keyword is one that's made up of between about 3 to 5 keywords. It can be shorter if they're super specific. It can be longer if you're using junk words like and or and stuff like that. But 3 to 5 words is good. And a perfect example of that is one of our clients, university, had some terms that were generic and were not generating good results. We didn't build it. For example, universities in Connecticut or Connecticut universities. Sounds like a nice keyword, and it's a nice keyword, but all the universities, every single one, even the state schools, have thought of that keyword. A more specific term that we used for all their graduate programs would be graduate finance programs in Connecticut, or Connecticut universities with graduate finance programs, and you can come up with tons of combinations of that long tail keyword. What that does is two things. Number one, it improves the relevance of your offering. So if you're offering a finance program, people can find it exactly. when you have relevance between the keyword, the ad, and the landing page, Google rewards you with a higher quality score, which gives your ads higher position for the same cost, or the same position for lower cost, depends on how you want to look at it. The other thing is long tail keywords are less competitive. Your keywords that are 3 to 5 words long, it's less likely that your competitors have thought of those terms. So what that means is less demand and more supply. And since we all know that Google works in a supply and demand environment for certain keywords, that's great. Lower cost. Graduate schools in Connecticut, MBA programs in Connecticut, they're generic keywords. Those are going to cost you like $60 a click. But some of these longer tail keywords that students are searching for will cost you far less. $10 a click maybe. It varies. The other thing that you can do when you are building a paid search campaign, we already talked about making sure you have relevance between the keyword, the ad, and the landing page. But I guess I'm going to jump right to performance. You got to take a look at your analytics, and you want to see for each and every keyword which one's delivering the most impressions, the most clicks, and the best post-click performance. Now the first two things, the impressions and clicks, and other things like the click-through rate and the quality score and the ad position, you can do that all within AdWords. But in order to track what's happening after the click, you need Google Analytics. And if you're spending more than like $100 a month, or if you're doing it yourself, you should definitely get Google Analytics. It doesn't cost anything. You have to load code onto your website for each page. But anyway, Google Analytics, you can track how what people do after they get to your website. So how many pages they view, how long they spend on your website, and ultimately, how do they engage with your website? Do they download something? Do they download a white paper, a case study? Do they become a lead? Do they buy something? So these are some tips that I hope will help you take the spook out of your paid search. And stay tuned for more great tips, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks.